and welcome to Quays News. I'm Molly Horton.
And I'm Charlie Sutton. Here are your top headlines for today.
As Britain recognises Palestine as a state, Manchester campaigners call for action, not words.
Baby Rory is more than one of 400 patients waiting for a life-saving organ transplant in Greater Manchester.
Could this new monument to the victims of the Peterloo massacre soon be covered in mould?
Yesterday we saw Sir Keir Starmer formally announce that the United Kingdom recognises Palestine as a state.
This was a deeply symbolic announcement that the government hopes will show commitment to the peace in the region and ease domestic political tensions.
Abigail Homewood joins us now in the studio. Welcome to the studio, Abigail. What more can you tell us on this?
So, as you said, yesterday we saw Sir Keir Starmer formally announce that the United Kingdom now recognises Palestine as a state. The Prime Minister stated that the move is intended to revive the hope of peace. The UK joins both Canada and Australia in this recognition now. What this actually means is the government is sending a strong political statement by supporting a two-state solution. To learn more about this, I spoke to Norma Turner, the chair of an organisation directly related to the support of Palestine in Manchester. Norma shared her views on the announcement.
These are now words, but they can be built on to demand action. If you support a Palestinian state, you've also got to challenge Israel to actually say that they are committing genocide, they are committing crimes against humanity. They have been found guilty in the United Nations courts, and they must pay. And what Britain can do is follow up this announcement by taking action.
So we know this is a global issue, but what does it mean for Manchester?
Well, Norma chairs an organisation intending to help educate people and create a space for like-minded individuals in Manchester. She is a retired nurse who worked in Gaza and is hoping to spread awareness of her experiences.
So, Greater Manchester Friends of Palestine, we are an organisation that organises demonstrations, organises boycott campaigns, sort of gets education out there and so on. There's a lot on, but what they need to do, what you could do is tell people to go and look at our website and sign up at least for the newsletter so that they can see what actions are going on around Greater Manchester.
Finally, the Israeli Prime Minister has accused Sir Keir Starmer for being on the wrong side of justice.
Thank you, Abigail.
It's been a chaotic weekend for bus users, as many B Network buses around Greater Manchester have been unable to run due to drivers going on strike.
Popular bus services such as the 50, 56 and 38 were just a few of the routes that have been affected by this strike, meaning that many passengers had to resort to more expensive methods of travel to get where they needed to go.
Our reporter Elena Towell has more on this story.
If you use the B Network, this weekend may have been a difficult one for you. Since Friday, over 2,000 bus workers have been striking over pay disputes with bus operators, and today is the final day of the strike. Picket lines have been set up at depots across Greater Manchester as the workers campaign for change.
I'm here at the Metroline Hyde Road depot on the second day of the bus strikes. As you can see behind me, the workers are out in the rain campaigning for better pay and better working conditions. They say the consensus between them all is that the pay offer that's been put on the table is just not enough to compensate for the work and value that they're putting into Greater Manchester.
Hopefully, they will consider the pains of the people who need the bus. Because the government and these people are the ones campaigning that people should not go to work with cars. They shouldn't go to work in other means of transportation. They should use the bus. Now the buses are in the depot resting while we are here waiting on them to answer to us.
Whilst the issue of pay is the primary reason for the strike, they are also hoping for better working conditions.
We can be on the bus for 5 hours, and it can be we're having to hold to go to the toilet that full 5 hours. If we're really desperate, we have to leave a bus full of people, but then obviously that makes your bus late, and then we get the backlash from that. But obviously you have to do it.
A 3.5% pay increase has been offered by Metroline, whilst an 8.8% pay increase over 2 years has been offered by Stagecoach. However, some workers don't think this is enough for them to support themselves and their families.
We shouldn't have to come to this, that we have to strike in order to get what we need, because obviously I've got 2 children to support, so the pay rise, we need it.
I approached all 3 bus operators for comment, but only Stagecoach responded. They say their offer of a pay rise over 2 years is significantly above inflation. They also say, "We are disappointed that no resolution has been found, but we must ensure that any deal is affordable for the long-term sustainability of our operations across Greater Manchester." Transport for Greater Manchester, who are not responsible for pay but are responsible for the scheduling of buses, have said, "We are encouraging operators and their unions to continue talks, reach agreement and avoid disruption to passengers. We are very sorry for any disruption or inconvenience."
Just please support the bus workers. They're working under really difficult conditions. We understand your frustration, but please, that frustration needs to be tabled at the local authorities and ultimately the bus operators.
Unite the Union has announced that further strikes will take place from the 30th of September to the 2nd of October if an agreement between the workers and bus operators is not reached before these dates.
All we are saying, give us pay.
Elena Tal, Quays News, Manchester.
Organ Donation Week has started today with NHS Blood and Transplant urging people to join the register.
I'm on the transplant waiting list, sweetheart. And if I don't get one, this might be all you'll know of me. But I'm hopeful. Hopeful it will happen and that I'll still be here, watching you grow.
Katie Louise Buxton is here with us. Hi Katie.
Hello.
So Katie, what's the significance of Organ Donation Week?
Well, Organ Donation Week highlights the desperate need for organ donors. Over the last decade, more than 12,000 people have died in the UK whilst waiting for a transplant. There's currently 406 patients in need of a life-saving transplant right here in Greater Manchester, with the UK waiting list at the longest it's ever been. Anthony Clarkson from NHS Blood and Transplants said that you're more likely to need a transplant than you ever are to be a donor. And most of us would accept an organ if we needed one, but far fewer of us have made the decision to donate. There has been progress in the last decade, though. More than 44,000 lives have been saved or improved through organ donation. But with thousands still waiting, NHS Blood and Transplant are urging people to confirm their decision to be an organ donor.
How do you sign up to be an organ donor though?
So you can call on 0300 123 2323 or visit organdonation.nhs.uk. You can register your decision there. It's really easy. I registered earlier today and it only took a couple of minutes.
So I thought organ donation was an opt-out system. So what's the importance of opting in?
You're right, Charlie. The importance is because if the worst were to happen, you still need your family's support. So last year there were fewer than 100 deceased organ donors and 520 families did not support donation where their loved ones hadn't registered to donate, which means thousands of missed opportunities for people to receive a life-saving transplant. And those decisions could take an awful situation for one family into a life-saving situation for another, like the family of 6-month-old Rory Fletcher. Rory is on the urgent heart transplant waiting list and has been in hospital since the day that she was born. Her mum and dad, Bex and Toby, are desperately waiting for that call to come. Bex has been in the intensive care unit nearly all day, every day. She said, "We know Rory is one of the smallest children on the transplant waiting list, which means she's not competing against others. But on the other hand, not many organs are donated from babies, so there are less hearts available in her size."
That must be so heartbreaking for the family.
Of course, and Rory's mum Bex has said that they would be so grateful to the donor family if she does receive a transplant. It's a horrible situation for anybody that loses a child and not one that you ever want to think about, but Bex tries to think that if you can come away and turn something negative into something positive for another family, why wouldn't you?
I mean, it's such a personal decision, but if you do want to be on the organ donor register and aren't already, it's quick and easy to join.
Most of us would accept an organ if we needed one, wouldn't we? It takes only 2 minutes to confirm your decision on the NHS organ donor register, but you could save up to 9 lives. Thank you for helping people like me be around for more moments like this.
Someone will die today waiting for an organ transplant. Confirm your decision on the NHS organ donor register. It's the best thing you'll do today.
An e-petition submitted to Manchester City Council is hoping to keep a memorial monument in the city centre looking clean. The monument, unveiled in 2019, commemorates the Peterloo massacre. The chair of the Peterloo campaign is calling on the council to invest in a protective spray ahead of the winter months.
It needs a special treatment in order not to get into that condition. There's a very simple fungicidal spray can be put on it, so that's what we're petitioning the council to do. We don't want people to look at this and think, is nobody proud of this? You know, it's just been left to kind of go all grey and look sort of rotten, because it's so much about the beauty of the stone as well. Yeah, we're going to really push hard to have it properly cleaned.
The e-petition can be found on the council's website. We did approach Manchester City Council for a comment on the state of the monument, and we are still awaiting a response.
Salford's long-running art club has just opened its latest exhibition at the city's museum and art gallery. Our reporter Abby Jones has been finding out how the show is bringing residents together and keeping Salford's creative tradition alive.
A highlight of Salford's cultural calendar is back. Now staged every 2 years, the Salford Art Club's exhibition has returned to the Salford Museum and Art Gallery with fresh work from local artists of every level. The club chairman, Philip Westcott, says giving artists a public platform is what makes this exhibition special.
Well, there's very few places nowadays where artists, especially ones who will be starting out, can exhibit. So if they're a member of the club, it gives them a chance to show what they're doing, and hopefully people will see it and it'll enhance their career.
Community exhibitions do more than display talent. Arts Council England research shows that local art events and exhibitions help build community pride and give people opportunities to connect with one another. That's exactly the experience exhibiting artist Tim Ward hopes to inspire.
Philip, our chairman, gave a workshop on how to do sepia paintings, and this is one of the workshop paintings I did. I didn't finish it on the day, but I was so impressed by the way sepia worked, the flow of the colour, and the way you could mix the tones using just one colour, monochrome. I took it home and I finished it off, and here it is in the exhibition. And anybody can join the club, and people who join the club can express their talent, or at least demonstrate their talent to other people and get that interaction going, which is very important. And for this club, it's very nice now to see younger members. Clubs don't thrive unless you have younger members who take over, and that's happening in our club now. We've got quite a younger set.
Returning artist Virginia Bellhouse-Moran has noticed a clear difference between this year's display and the last one.
I think the variety is better this year. It seems to be much more diverse. I think it's always good, and you see each exhibition in a different light. It's nice to see the little sculptures and more things in the cabinets and the 3D stuff.
Behind me are pieces from the newest exhibition at the Salford Museum and Art Gallery. There are paintings, drawings and mixed media pieces. This isn't just a look of art, it is a snapshot to Salford's creative energy right now, and it runs until the 30th of November 2025 for anybody who wants to experience this variety firsthand. For the artists, it's more than just a chance to hang work on a wall. It's about keeping Salford's creative tradition alive and inspiring the next generation to pick up a brush.
That's all for now, but don't worry, we'll be back tomorrow at about 4:30.
For all the latest updates, be sure to follow our social media pages at Quays News. Thank you for joining us.